timing. All right, let's do it. It is finals time. Lucario up against, what are we calling it? Tempo Zard. We got to call it Tempo Zard now, right?
Yeah, it's tempo. It's 100% tempo. This man
We've
has
got to
earned the
call it
right.
Tempo Zard. He's earned the right. Good luck, have fun. Here's the start from Vini. He's going first.
Got the
Zacian V in the active. Not great,
No.
but not terrible.
Not terrible. I mean, again, Zamazenta is obviously, good. But the thing is, like, it's not Senti, right? So Zamazenta isn't as important in this matchup. And maybe it is preferable. We can actually switch into the doll here as well and get a nice Intrepid Sword. Gets the turn 1 coating. I think that's actually pretty phenomenal. I'm not going to lie.
This is probably the best possible start considering the situation. We're seeing an Intrepid Sword for 2 energy as well.
Oh, no.
That is humongous. Unbelievable start from
What a way
Vini,
to start the finals with the beach on the line. Holy cow.
Tell you what, that is a massive, massive deal. And also some very interesting math because of that coding energy. If Vini manages to find his cape, which he'll be able to do with Guzma and Hala, he's not actually going to be knocked out by an outrage after he hits into the Rifugio.
Yep.
So that's a massive deal for him as well. We could actually see a really strong start.
Wow, that Fiona is massive. He's going to have to sack this Zacian with no energies. Which is a little. Well, he could have gone into the healthy Zacian. Again, he does have the coating on it. But I think that this was probably the right play either way. This way you get almost a guaranteed 2 attacks off on this Reshi. And that Fiona was super clutch, man. 2 incredible starting hands for both of these players.
Absolutely, and the welder plus the energy. So neither player holding back here. We're going to see 2 prizes to Yarifu straight away. And this is the thing, right, with this Tempo Zard deck, is that if it can put the pressure on early, it will be able to so easily overpower Lucario. Lucario needs to really hold this Reshizard back. If it can get the Lucario off this turn, maybe get the GX attack, reduce our opponent's hand size potentially, that's probably the best situation. But at the moment, there's not much that we can really expect to see other than just an attack from the Zacian. We have just top-decked the Lucario, though, so that's pretty good.
This is actually good. I mean, realistically, like, if we are able to Guzma Hala, he's just discarding the quick ball. I guess that probably just makes total sense. But realistically, like, if we are able to maybe delay a turn, we can GX attack on this Lucario and get the energy on. I don't know if that's a terrible decision. He's going to put the goggles on Zacian, actually. And he is going to go ahead, put the coating on, and I think that he's going to Intrepid and then try to get the full effect next turn with the GX attack.
Yeah, and I think that's a very smart play there. Just going, okay, well, if you get the Fiona again, then that's fine. I'll just put in whatever I put up, probably the Lucario Melmetal, to be honest. But it's one of those situations where, okay, I'm happy to just sit here and build my hand a little bit. You need to go really fast. Yarifu needs to go really fast. I can sit back and wait. See a switch here. It's going to go into the Jirachi. We've got the Hearth in play as well. So energy's not a problem. We're probably looking for a welder here. To be honest, a big play from Yarifu. There's a theoretical chance at a knockout on this Lucario Melmetal. It is super, super slim, but there is a theoretical chance. Yeah,
I mean, again, it is 100% possible. The thing here is you really, like, you're in an awkward spot, right? Both kind of ways, right? I mean, both had, like, super fast-paced starts. They were like, okay, we're both rolling. We're getting it going. Tropical Beach is on the line, and then now it's like, okay, hold up.
Let's actually think about this for a second.
Yeah, right. Let's wait a minute. Yeah. So, and this is where the pressure really starts to set in. I mean, with the Tropical Beach on the line, 320 players down to this one game, you gotta really take your time and make sure you make the right plays. So, I full confident that both of these players will, of course, make the right decisions. Both great players, but a lot's on the line here, and we can tell he's looking through his deck. He's thinking about his line here, and it looks like he will be going back into the Reshi. And potentially KO this doll here.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Could have just left the Jirachi in the active there, which might have caused a little bit of a problem for Vini. Would have needed to have made a decision. Now there's actually no choice, really. We just attach an energy and then take the GX attack. That seems like the most intelligent route to victory here.
And gets goggles? Yeah, I mean,
this card bomb. Yeah, goggles. This is perfect. Just don't click the wrong attack. That's the only thing you have to do.
That's what I'm talking about, right? You got to make sure. You really got to make sure. But yeah, I mean, this is huge now for War Expert here for Vini. Of course, Okay, we're back. He's gonna be able to, he's got the Zacian set up. He's got his Luke Metal with energies here, and honestly, like if Yari doesn't get anything off his turn and doesn't retreat out or whatnot, this Luke Metal can attack into this Reshi, most likely live a hit, or take a hit and Mallow into the Zacian and finish off the KO for 3 prizes. So, he's looking like he's in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how quickly this kind of matchup can turn around, right? Lucario Melmetal seems like it's on the back foot. It loses the early prize lead, but now there's not a huge amount that this Temposar deck can realistically do. It needs to get a Welder off here, and that, luckily, is a card that can be played. So, Welder, 2 energy onto the Reshizard, and we'll see what Yarifu does here. Just taking his time, thinking through this very methodically, does not want to make any mistakes, and decides just an outrage for 0. That's the best that they can realistically do.
It's insane, but yeah, I mean, again, like I don't know if you really want to burn the Mallow on here. Again, what you can do is play the Zacian. I think that's totally smart, and you can attach coding saucer to it. But I think that the best play, of course, is maybe not even put anything on the bench in case you do get sort of bossed up or whatnot. Doing 50 damage, like I said, to this Reshi is extremely good because now no matter what happens next turn, you're not going to get KO'd. And you can just sort of safely finish off this KO with Zacian. So definitely going to be a phenomenal sort of spot for Vini right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just reset
holding onto those cards in hand is actually very, very smart. There's temptation there to play down the Zacian and then Saucer and then go for the coding energy, but it was just a little bit of stream lag there. Unfortunate, but it's okay now.
I think it's when Vinny's tabbing out and like probably checking his list or whatnot.
Right, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, there's a temptation to throw that Zacian down and attach the energies, but Vini knows I don't need that extra Zacian. I just need to Mallow and Lana. I need to heal the damage, and away I go. So he's managed to get to that position now where he can Mallow and Lana, heal the damage.
This is huge.
Move into the Zacian, take the knockout.
Massive.
And this puts him in a very, very strong position. He's got 2 powered attackers.
These 3 prize cards,
0.
Dude, these 3 prize cards are so big too. Like depending on if he pulls something, a progressive card here, it could just be absolutely phenomenal. We get a Saucer, we get a Cape. Could this be a supporter of some kind? It's a Tag Call. That's actually huge.
Tag Call is massive.
Yeah,
massive card to get for the prizes.
Gotta love that. Vini, man, a very extremely strong first game here for Vini. Playing like his life is on the line when really the beach is on the line, but almost the same thing. And we're gonna see Yari here. He's thinking, he's like, oh man, now I really have to rely on this Blacephalon. I just start one-hit KOing stuff. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. But he's only got 2 Blounds in his deck. We do see the Oricorio. This makes things a little bit difficult, right, for him in terms of the prize race because a boss is looking pretty good right now if you're Vini. But I think I think it's essential.
We're gonna have to ask Vini to stop tapping out here.
I know. Yeah.
he's obviously doing everything that he can to make sure that he is in a position to win this game. But it doesn't make for a very good viewing experience. It's okay though. Looks like Yarifu's managed to got a he's got a pretty big hand, but he doesn't have any strong attacking options here. He's still got the Stellar Wish from Jirachi. He may still have the Giant Hearth as well. But it's tough to say exactly what is his best option. Looks like a Quick Ball here. Could potentially be for like a Mewtwo or something like that. That may be an option just to get the Welder out of the deck, and it looks like that's what he's going to do, out of the discard, sorry. Then he can just Jirachi straight into that, and at least guarantee that he's got some energy on that Blacephalon.
Right. I mean, and again, when you have a Oricorio, you're able to draw the 3 of the Jirachi and the Active Spot. There's definitely a lot of pathways that can be opened up to you, but you really got to sequence properly at this point, and you really got to hope that you get at least a little bit fortunate in your next few turns. But we see the Mewtwo here, so he's gonna probably put Welder back on the top of the deck.
That seems like the smartest choice, yeah.
Yeah. Then he's tabbing out yet again. I did tell him to try not to do this, or to do that. I don't think he knows, right? So I just let him know. But
that's okay. He's all right. To be fair, I would be tabbing out as well if there was a tropical beach on the line.
Yeah, right. You're like, what's his deck list? Like, what's in his deck?
Yeah. What's the best thing to do?
Right.
Why is my music in the background stop playing? All that kind of stuff.
You're like, my YouTube video ended. Let me get in the zone again.
Yeah, exactly. Let me put another Ludwig video on.
Okay, so we see a
All
crystal.
right,
So this looks like a KO, a potential KO with this Blacephalon here. So, maybe perhaps, I don't know. From there, where do you go?
Well,
Right? You're gonna have to set up another one.
it's really interesting because, like, obviously you can take the knockout on the Zacian here. You need to discard 6 energy to knock this Zacian out because you've got no weakness. There's the goggles on top of the GX attack, which is reducing it by 60. So there needs to be a whole bunch of energy committed here. And the Fireball Circus coming through looks like he will do it. But next turn, my Blacephalon's just going to get knocked out, right? I'm just going to have that removed by the Lucario Melmetal.
Yeah,
and if Vini can find another Zacian, he's actually pretty close to just having that other attacker set up ready to go anyway.
Yeah, and I think that boss though. I mean, again, Luke Metal's not doing enough to KO that Oricorio. But the thing here is, he's gonna be able to grab Cynthia, Caitlyn, Mallow, Lana. Maybe you draw a way to find a Zacian off this Mallow, Lana, right? And you can put 2 energies onto that thing, get yourself set up for next turn, and you have boss in hand, right? So honestly, not looking very bad for Vini, this hand at least, right? Yeah, we just
I think the biggest problem for him is going to be I don't have another Pokemon in play, so I can't Mallow and Lana efficiently.
Right.
And also, if my opponent just gets the nuts next turn, he wins the game, and I go 1-0 down in the final.
Right. I mean, it's going to come down to that, much like many of these standard matchups do. He's really kind of thinking about his outlet here, the right way to go. I think he's got the right thing in mind. Mallow Lana, of course, would be nice. He could preemptively boss, but I don't agree with that. We actually see a Guzma Hala come out. No,
He's just having a think, I think. And there's 3 Zacians already in the discard pile, which is actually pretty awkward for him. And this is going to be a little bit difficult to take knockouts on those GX and V Pokemon that Yarifu does play. Things like Cremorant and Oricorio are going to be a little bit too far out of range of Zamazenta and also from Lucario Melmetal. So maybe Vini just going, oh, well, this attack is going to be the last thing that I have to use. Maybe I just need to make it as hard as possible to get my opponent into the winning hand.
Right. Someone in chat saying the last turn all he needed was a Fion, which is interesting. Yeah, he might have missed a Fion sort of win condition at some point, but
potentially.
Power
Looks like the
Plant
Power
is gonna
Plant's
be
come
huge.
out. That's a very, very big card. Let's make it as difficult as possible to get the knockout on this Lucario Melmetal.
That might have been the best play, to be fair. Like you get the KO on this Blown here. You shut off the Oricorio. I mean, again, he might have a Hearth in hand, but I think in terms of the safe option, this might have been the best option. Vini, he finally saw my.
Right.
I think Vini saw.
He's seen your message.
Yeah, he saw the message.
he's gone into windowed mode.
Gotta love it.
There is a Hearth to replace that stadium, which is a little bit disappointing. The Power Plant into the discard pile means that now things like Oricorio and Dedenne are all alive. It's kind of awkward. Obviously, there's a bunch of attackers that could be useful for Yarifu here. He needs to do 210 damage, which is just out of range of a Reshizard with 4 energy attached to it, thanks to the GX attack and the Metal Goggles. It means that Blacephalon's going to need a lot of resources to try and get that knockout. And it ultimately means that if Vini gets 2 more turns, he's going to win this game, right? So he just needs to make sure that his opponent doesn't get the pressure that he needs.
Right.
Cremorant is not going to be a good enough attacker here.
And the thing is, too, like, if Yari doesn't get something set up quick here, this turn, this Jirachi is very well getting knocked out, and at that point, you're really just hoping that that Oricorio 3-card draw is going to be enough. So
exactly.
This is a very big turn here, perhaps the biggest turn so far of the tournament. But we'll see. He does find the Blacephalon. We'll see what else is in his hand, and what else he can make happen here.
Yeah, you'd be thinking that there's either a welder in hand already, maybe a scoop-up net for that Mewtwo to put a welder on top, or just a blind Jirachi and Oricorio to try and get it. It is critically important that Blacephalon take the knockout now. If he doesn't knock out this Lucario now, the game is going to become very, very difficult to win. The boss in Vini's hand means that he'll be able to knock that Blacephalon out if it doesn't knock him out first.
That boss is insane. But you know what? I've seen Blowns have some ridiculous turns, and it's definitely not out of the ordinary here. He's got the Hearth. He's got the Jirachi. He's got the Oricorio. He's got everything that you could possibly want to try and set up for a win this turn KO.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. I think the biggest problem for him, I just noticed that there's 10 energy in the discard pile already, and with 14 fire energy, that is very, very awkward. Now you might say that's not too big of a deal because of fire crystal. There are already 2 fire crystals in the discard pile as well, so that means that realistically, Yarifu only has access to 4 energy in his deck, plus 2 fire crystals, so 10 energy. He's going to need almost all of them to get this knockout.
Yeah,
literally almost all of them.
No, exactly. I think if I am guessing sort of how Yuri's hand is or his sort of board state right now, because of course we can't see it. If I had to guess, I would say he's maybe, probably like 1 or 2 pieces away. Like I think he's probably missing 1 card in particular, unless he proves me wrong. Which I wouldn't be too upset. But the fact that he discarded that to Dene there means that he's got almost all the pieces that he needs. And I've been here before. I understand it. Vini keeps tapping out. It's fine. It's
it's all right. Whatever happens will happen. It's not a problem. There's the crystal. So he's got 1.
Yeah.
That means 3 more energy. Means that Welder's an option. He could be looking for a Welder into another fire crystal. Maybe it's the switch that he's missing. It's always hard to know in these situations. We just see there's 2 switch, 2 of the scoop up nets as well. Another fire crystal.
Hold up.
Looks Vini is saying, I'm going second next game. I don't know if it's completely over yet.
He needs 6 in hand.
You would have thought that if he did have it, that he would have done it a little bit quicker.
Well, you never know. You definitely want to make sure, right? We're going to see a quick ball. He's got 4. He's down both crystals, so I think he has 8 in hand. I think he might be down 1 energy unless he already had 1 in hand. But also, he could be missing the way to switch out.
We still don't have the Welder either. So we're in this really weird spot. Is he resetting whole? Oh, he's going to get rid of his own giant hearth potentially.
If I had to guess,
be very interesting.
Mitch, if I had to guess, I bet he's banking on drawing an energy right here off that. And let's see if it happened. He's going to attach one, or maybe I think he needed 1 card off of that Welder.
Here's the scoop up net. It looks like he's got it now. Going into the Blacephalon, and we will see a big attack. Fireball Circus discarding a whole bunch of energy. You'd have to think it's enough.
Yeah, wow.
There's the knockout.
Wow.
240. Insane. Unbelievable. Blacephalon is one of those decks that you can just do it out of nowhere.
Man, I'm not surprised, but man, whenever you see that, you're just amazed that's even a possibility.
For sure. That game, though, was all set up by that Fion play on turn 1 of the game. Being able to take a knockout on a Zacian before Vini could really get anything going was such a critical play. He's done incredibly well there. So, on to game 2. We've got Vini down 1 game to Yarifu. Yarifu is 1 game away from winning that Tropical Beach. The all-powerful beach that he can trade away to get every card he's ever wanted. We are 1 game away. In the flip side, we've got Vini, who now needs to make no mistakes. He needs to have all the luck to be able to get the 2 wins required so that he can go home with the Tropical Beach.
All right.
Looks like we're starting up that game now. We may be tabbed out again.
Uh-oh.
Somebody message Vini. Tell him to stop it.
I've messaged him a few times. We'll see if he sees it. I don't know if he even knows exactly. Dang.
No, that's okay.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Straight to the coin flip. And it looks like Vini is going second. And this start is not good. This is not a good start for
Double
Vini.
Zamazenta, man. Oh, no.
Double Zamazenta, the least useful Pokemon that he has in his deck. Zamazenta in this matchup achieves almost nothing. The only thing that he could have started that would have been worth would have been Aegislash.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. Out of all of these games, oh, look at he's in window mode. Out of all these games that we've watched from Vini, I don't think I've ever seen him like start or even I don't even think we've seen that Aegislash at all. Like it's just hiding away in the deck, which you love to see in these matchups.
It's there. It's floating around somewhere. We just don't know where it is.
It's a good thing. That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing that if you never need to use the Zamazenta, not the Zamazenta, the Aegislash, that means you've never had to play the Decidueye. You're not stressed at all.
Wow. And we see a nice
All
Jirachi
right.
here. He is going first. Again, I don't think going second is like too much of a big deal for Blounce, as much as it maybe is for Sanduscourge. But you definitely like to go second for sure. Like just for the fact that you potentially, can get that hot start.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, right? With Blounce is it is all about those hot starts. If he can get a very strong one here, especially since Vini is in a little bit of trouble. Not that Yarifu knows that, but he gets a strong start and he puts himself in a great position to win this set and then win the tournament. Vini, on the other hand, needs to be hoping the top 4 cards of his deck are very, very good. Let's put it that way.
It's true though. It's very true. He's gonna quick ball here.
We've just had a message in chat. How dare his deck be named Luca Metal Hexter and not Luca Metal Chill? Maybe that's the reason he's been abandoned at the very last.
Oh,
because he named his deck wrong.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he would have won last game if it was Luke Metal Chill. Who knows?
Maybe.
Morningwood says he has an Aegislash. He does, bro. I know. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it, but it is in his deck. So funny.
All right, so we've seen an attachment to a Reshizard and then a pass. It's probably the best case scenario for Yarifu. Meanwhile, Vini is hoping that he can find something off of these off of this Cynthia Caitlin, and he's found something. All right, he's managed to get himself a Zacian off of that capture energy, and also a tag call to grab Guzma, Hala, and a Lucario Melmetal.
Yeah, I think this is big. Next turn we're going to be able to get coding energy, which is something we definitely need. Like, we're going to want coding. We find 1 energy off the Intrepid Sword. Definitely good. But you're on going into your 3rd turn after this, and you don't have any coding energies, which is never a good thing. At least he does have that doll in the active spot.
Yeah, that's true. And so, I mean, we could see another Fion play here from Yarifu, but this time it's not that big of a deal because we'll obviously be sacrificing the Zamazenta, which is not particularly strong in this matchup. So it's not like the last game where Vini will be very, very upset to lose a Zacian. He's gonna be okay to lose a Zamazenta. It all does come down to Yarifu, though. Does he have the Welder? He needs Welder, double energy, and a switch mechanic, as well as the Fion to be able to take any prizes this turn. There is that Welder. I spoke too soon. This happens all the time on my YouTube videos. Say this person needs this card to do anything, and then they play it. That's just the way that the game works. I'm not sure if we've seen the Giant Hearth yet either. I think that was just the discard then. So there is going to be the 4 energy on the Zard. Can we see the Fion from Yarifu? That's the critical piece.
Yeah, that's going to be the most important thing here. He's going to Cherish Ball here. I'm not sure necessarily what he will be grabbing.
I think we were literally about to see it, and then Vini tabbed out. It's literally just about to appear on the screen, but nope. We gotta tab out here and double check something very quickly.
Oh no, Vini.
And it's one of those ones where we'll pop back, and the board state will be completely different, and we'll have no idea what's going on. All right, we're back. Looks like there's a Mewtwo, so I'll put the Welder back on top of the deck for next turn. Depending on what that Cherish Ball was for, though, it could have been a Dene. We might see a few cards drawn here. No, just a pass. And I think this is actually an incredibly good spot to pass in, because there's no reason, realistically, to do anything other than pass the turn here. I mean, like,
right.
The Lillie's Pokédoll and the active does nothing for your opponent. You don't need to knock it out. It's not too much of a problem. And unlike Game 1, Yarifu's not going to be giving up his Reshizard without at least taking some prizes with it first.
For sure. No, for 100%. And it's kind of an awkward position for Vini here. I mean, you can set up that Luke Metal. Of course, we can Guzma Hala here, find that coding. But the thing is, we have 3 Metal Pokemon on our bench with really only access to attaching 1 Metal coding this turn. And no matter what, you just got to hope that Yari doesn't have, the goods. Maybe doesn't have any Gusting, or, the Great Catcher, or perhaps a Boss, or something of the such. And you're kind of afraid to set something up because you don't know. And he's going to Marnie, and I think that's actually a pretty safe play.
Yeah, it does put that Welder from the top deck into the hand, though. So it means that he's not just kind of disrupting his opponent, but he's also giving his opponent the pieces he needs to draw more cards. So this is a much slower start from Vini. He's not in a bad spot yet. He's still got something to do. He does have control of space and time as well, which is very important. Just pausing the game like this.
Is this cheating, being able to just pause time like this? And
I don't know. We'll have to ask a judge.
Oh no. I guess that would be me, wouldn't it? Oh no.
It would be. Here's the thing. That gives Yarifu an opportunity to use boss here to take a knockout on pretty much anything he wants.
Exactly. And you got, you can Stellar Wish, try to find it. You might even just have it in hand. There's ways to get a KO here, and I think that if you're Yari, you go and you somehow do get boss and a KO on this Luke Metal, you're just in incredible position, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. We're
gonna see him grab a couple fires, so maybe he's just gonna welder here.
Well, it could just be like a little bit of thinning out of the deck to give himself the best chance to find that boss. If that's the route he's going down. Obviously, having the Reshizard on the bench is a good attacker regardless. We see the windowed mode come back.
I don't
looks
even
like
know.
every now and then he just remembers either that or it's just a complete fluke.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. Like, oh no, see, but it's back. I don't know how he's going like back and forth between it.
In and out of window mode. Yeah. Like that. I have no idea either. That's a very interesting one.
Oh well. Vini's hacking the game. Oh, he's back.
He's back in windowed mode.
Okay.
Quick ball for Fion. This is the card that he needed.
Wow.
Fion is gonna take prizes. It means that Vini gets to choose, which is obviously a better scenario than having Zacian or Luca Metal bossed up.
Okay.
But it is also going to... Yeah, it means that Yarifu is going to be able to get extra energies on a whole bunch of different Pokemon. He actually chooses to weld it to the Jirachi there, saying, I don't want to miss the switch. I just want to guarantee I get a knockout.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I think when you're in this position, you kind of are controlling the overall board state. You go with whatever's the most consistent. And yes, Jirachiing and finding the switch would have obviously been more ideal, weldering to Reshi. But, for the most part, it's not entirely necessary. We can just go ahead and guarantee a nice 400 damage KO on the Zamazenta and 2 prizes. So I think that was definitely, in my opinion, the best play.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is it's an interesting one. It's obviously the best play, but it also gives Vini a chance here because what can happen? You can attach this coating metal. He can play down he's doing it all. Play down the power plant, Marnie away the hand, and now you give your opponent the least possible resources available to respond to what is about to happen here. So we're about to lose all of the energy off of the Reshizard. We're about to see a bunch of really frustrating cards come down. And then the Full Metal Wall GX creates a big problem for Yarifu. He needs to have a good 5 cards in his hand here.
And you never know. Maybe he's got the Hearth and Welder. There's a lot of things that can go right now. Of course, Yari didn't know, and there's the Hearth. He didn't know what was in Vini's hand, right? So, no matter what, I think that was probably the best play, getting the 2 prizes. But Vini's hand was very ideal, I think, for that scenario.
Absolutely. And now that Giant Hearth coming down obviously means that energy are going to be easy to find. It just comes down to whether or not Yarifu can get a bit more consistency down. Maybe he can find the Oricorio. Maybe he can find the Dedenne or something to just thin out his deck that little bit more, because the last thing that you want is for a deck to be 34, 35, 36 cards deep and then just be continually Marnied through it, which is what's going to happen here. Next turn, Vini's going to play down the power plant, play down the Marnie, and hope to brick his opponent one more time.
Right. I mean, the fact that he has a Marnie power plant still in hand is honestly just disgusting.
It's quite frightening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, that's if you're Yari, you're like, man, I hope I don't get planted and Marnie.
I hope I get Marnied and power plant. That would suck.
Yeah.
Oh, it happened twice in a row. Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly though. But it's still up in the air, which is definitely good for both players. Good for us watching. We don't know what's gonna happen here. He does attach one to the Blound. I like that a lot. He's gonna Crobat. So
what a card to have.
Yeah. And could have something extremely useful here if we see like a, again, he's going to get Marnied, but again, anything that he plays down this turn could be extremely ideal. So he's going to switch out now. I think that's very good. We're going to see a Stellar Wish. What are we hoping for up here? Has he played a supporter yet? Is that a no?
I don't believe so. I think he's still got the opportunity to play Welder. It doesn't look like he's got it just yet, but this switch could go into another Jirachi. But to be fair, leaving this Jirachi in the active is actually fine. Like, Luca Metal can't really do too much about this. especially the way that Vini's board state is set up at the moment. And that's what Yarifu decides to do. Just leave that Jirachi there, and I'll leave it in your court. What can you do about it?
No, exactly. I mean, and it's one of those things where, he's either going to Marnie you or he's going to boss and KO the Blowns. Either way, next turn you should have a pretty decent setup. I think he might have access to an Oricorio. That could be very important. Either way, he can always reset up this Reshi. And then that Zacian doesn't have a coating on it yet. You can start chipping away at this Luke metal. There's a lot of things that you can do here. That Marnie, he draws into some stuff here. Nothing like too crazy. No coating yet. But I do think that the doll is going to be nice in the long run. Cynthia and Kaylin will be nice next. Busted doll.
Busted doll. Yeah, that doll has like 70 or 80 HP on it. Something stupid.
Hey, it could come in clutch. You know what I mean?
It could be. It withstands the Blacephalon Blazer as well, which is pretty strong.
That's right. Now that Blown has to burn a couple energies, right, to KO that.
Yeah, exactly. It has to knock that doll out by discarding. Unbelievable.
You never know.
Discard 2 as well. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you never know if that's gonna matter. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, no. So just the Steel Fist there into the Jirachi, and another replacement. No Power Plant sticking today, and that's a big heartbreak. Absolutely, yeah. Vini throwing out the emote there. Unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Now Vini, he's gonna be able to, Yari, he's gonna have a whole nother turn where he can Stellar Wish, and get a nice little setup here. I wonder what he finds personally off this Stellar Wish. If it's like a welder and he's got able to set up this Blown here, that could be huge. He's got a lot of different pathways, like he really does. But I'm sure he knows what he should be doing at this point better than I do. But I'm excited to see, because there's definitely a lot of different things that he could be going for at this point.
Well, you'd think that Welder would be the #1 target, but it looks like Cherish Ball is the card that has been found that could potentially find something like an Oricorio, maybe a Dedenne. We've been looking to try and get as much damage down onto these Pokemon as possible. If I were Yarifu, it's kind of awkward though, because you don't want to not knock out a Pokemon in this situation,
right?
Because Mallow and Lana is such a potent card in this deck that you really don't want to do anything unless you're going to take the one shot. So maybe it is better to just discard that. Maybe you can welder onto a Blacephalon, maybe welder onto a Reshizard, and try and get a knockout in one shot rather than waiting for something else to happen.
Right. I think if you're Yari, you might spend the time. You might take the time out to try to set up a one-hit KO on this Luke Metal. Again, he's actually attaching to the Reshi, so maybe he's hoping to get a nice little boss KO in his Asian play.
That seems like a pretty solid move.
Yeah.
Next turn, he'll be able to attach one energy and boss the Zacian, which will be really, really strong. And I think that's the path that Yarifu needs to take to victory here. He needs to knock out the Lucario Melmetal with the Blacephalon, hopefully last, because then it'll make it easiest for him to find the energy, and take the knockout on the Zacian with Reshizard. That's the way he goes about winning this game.
For sure, 100%. It's all about how he goes about doing it. So let's see. Man. It's again. This could be the tournament. This could be the beach right here. This one game. Vini,
it really could.
Vini's down 1-0. It's a serious moment. It's an awkward matchup, but we saw him. We saw him turn things around before, so pretty confident. He's just gonna go ahead, pass that turn here. I think honestly,
that boss is so big. That is a massive top deck.
What?
Now we no longer need to knock out the Jirachi in the active. Instead, we could potentially boss out that Blacephalon and take the knockout. You can see, though, is the Mewtwo a better target? You can see Vini really having a think about it. He knows the Reshizard. He's going to be able to knock that out eventually. He needs to attack that twice. The Blacephalon seems like the bigger target, though. Yeah. Does he go for it? He's hovering. He's hovering.
You could potentially boss the Reshi and attack with Luke Metal, 2-hit KO it. But I think KOing Blowns is probably the safe bet. Yeah, that's very interesting. It's very interesting for sure. Depending on what's in Yari's hand, we could see, he's going to go into Jirachi. We could see an Oricorio. He could potentially set up a Blown in one turn, right? Realistically. But
yeah, absolutely. He could. It's just going to be that tiny little bit harder now, because obviously now the Blacephalon needs to be found. There's only one left in the deck, if that. We don't know whether it's in the prizes or not, but here's the Oricorio, right? We're going to be able to find even more cards now. It's going to be even easier for that Blacephalon to come down. If the Blacephalon comes out and that boss is punished, then it's going to be very hard for Vini to come back in this one. But that's all ifs. It's all ifs. We don't know. It's an attachment to the Reshizard and a Stellar Wish. Probably looking for a switch or a boss. The boss onto the Zacian would be humongous here.
It would be.
Massive, massive play. Fire Crystal also pretty good.
Maybe he had, like I said, maybe he has the Blounds goods right now. He's going to go into the...
he's going to go into the Zard for sure. He must have the boss because otherwise he wouldn't have attached.
Right.
If he needed to knock out the Lucario, he would never have made this play. So a very, very big turn. If Yarifu has the boss, then this game becomes incredibly difficult. Vini's going to need a lot of luck. There's the boss, so he's going to take the knockout on the Zacian.
Wow.
One flare strike here takes the knockout, 430 damage, if you don't mind. And Vini being hard punished for not finding that coding metal energy.
Yeah, absolutely insane. I mean, at this point, Vini, he's got his back against the wall. Realistically, just right around the corner of potentially being out of contention for winning this tournament and getting that.
Well, it's gonna be incredibly difficult to go on to win from here. I mean, he's got a decision to make. Do I attach to a Zacian? Do I heavy impact? It looks like that's what he's doing. He's gonna have to heavy impact and then hope that the Marnie next turn sticks. That's his only route to victory. Now, my opponent doesn't knock me out next turn. They just half hit with an outrage. I Marnie them. I hope that they miss everything. And I hope that I can somehow get a knockout with a Zacian the turn after. So 5 prizes left for Vini is going to be very, very tough to take. Yarifu so close to being able to win this tournament, switching into the Jirachi.
You can feel it. He's got everything, man. He's got a huge hand. Realistically, even if you just attack into this Luke Metal, you should be able to set up whatever you need next turn, even if it's just, a Blound doing, a small amount of damage. Ooh, that's a crystal as well.
Another crystal, so that's 6 energy. I know he definitely has the second crystal in hand at least. You can see Vini hovering over the social menu there. He's about to say GG. There's the quick ball into the Blacephalon if it's in the deck. We wait patiently.
My cat
is the Blacephalon there.
He knows.
No Blacephalon. Maybe he has it in hand. Maybe it's not over yet.
Could be prized. He's going to put down a second Reshi.
No Blacephalon. So Vini's been given a chance. Maybe there's another turn left in him. But to be honest, if there's a welder on this Reshizard, I feel like the game's over regardless.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It's one of those things where either way, I think he's going to be able to set up a 2-hit KO, whether it's Reshi or Reshi Blound. But I think Reshi just requires, obviously, another next turn. If he has welder, then that's going to be the game, unfortunately. But coming down to the wire. We see a crystal just in case he gets Marnied, which he very well could.
That's true. There is still a path to victory for Vini now, though. At least he's been given the opportunity. Right. This Marnie in his hand is going to be very, very important.
For sure. Vini playing out to his outs. He's doing all the right things. And he's going to go ahead and put a welder on the top of the deck in case he does get Marnied.
That is a big play. I feel like that's enough. I feel like that's going to be enough to win this game.
I think both power plants for Vini are in the discard pile, so no matter what, Yari's going to have access to that hearth. And most likely will be able to, take this game next turn. I'm not saying it's up in the air still, but
yeah, anything could happen. Pokemon is a weird game. It could be a situation where maybe the Marnie doesn't find the extra energy or whatever it is that's required. But let's just talk this one out for a second. We're going to see a Flare Strike or an Outrage here, which is going to deal enough damage to half hit this Lucario Melmetal. We'll see a Marnie next turn after this knockout. Oh my goodness, it's gonna come down to, can Yarifu find an energy off of Marnie, because he's obviously got 2. He's got 2 guaranteed.
The thing is too is he can always shuffle his deck with a card that he gets Marnied into perhaps before he Oricorios, which would increase the chance because he did Fire Crystal right before last turn.
Yeah, exactly. So
and he has Hearth, so there's a lot of different things that could happen, to where he's going to make it work. I think he's got 15 cards in deck. I think he has at least 3 or 4 energies in there, maybe more. So we're going to see this happen here. Here comes the Marnie. Does Marnie...
Okay, so we've got like everything that Vini needs to continue this game is here.
Yeah.
He just has to hope. Well, just an Intrepid Sword, no knockout. I feel like that's a concession, if there ever was one.
Right.
That feels like a concession to me, because not taking the knockout here means that there's
nothing you can do. Yeah.
There's nothing really to be done. There's the only thing realistically that Vini could have done in that situation.
Okay, yeah.
Take the knockout, hope that Yarifu doesn't find the energy off of the Marnie and the Welder and the Lucario.
Because now you're in a position where you're giving him another turn to set up. You're going to KO this Reshi, and then he has a whole nother turn, right? Like you're pretty much giving him another turn to set it up. And there's a crystal. And
there's a fire crystal. So it would have been the end of the game. Maybe Vini knows something that we don't.
Maybe.
They can keep him in this one. Maybe.
I mean, he's got another Marnie.
He does have the Marnie. Yeah, he's keeping him in his hand, doesn't he? He's having no problems finding those.
Yeah, man, this is... I mean, I guess he could... Does he have Mallowanas left in the deck? Is he hoping for a Mallowana switch in a something of the such? It looks like he does still have Mallowana in deck, but, he can't... Yeah, that actually might be his only play.
Yeah. Is that enough, is the question.
Right.
So obviously Yarifu managing to find the Welder means that he's set. He just needs to take knockouts until he eventually wins the game. It's all in Vini's court now. Vini has to do something proactive to try and win this game. Now, he can take a knockout next turn. If he Mallow and Lana's, then he can potentially survive another attack from a Reshizard, which is massive, right? But he also needs to find some way of attaching a Metal Goggles or even a cape to the Zacian. Otherwise, it just gets knocked out as well. So it's this very awkward position where Vini needs to be proactive with a deck that is designed to be reactive, which is never a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, it never really is. And who knows, maybe there's just like a boss in Yari's hand or something. But he's only got one in the discard. Like, it's honestly possible that he choreos here into... Actually, never mind. It's possible that... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's so many things that could still happen.
I don't know, yeah.
It's like...
it's all up in the end. It's one of these things, right? It's beyond myself and everyone that's watching in the chat, because these players are just so good. They're so strong with these decks. Outrage takes the knockout on the Pokédoll. We know that there is definitely a route that Vini is taking, but we just don't know what that route is.
Yeah, I think that Yari played it smart. He's brought the healthy Reshi into the active spot. So even if we Mallowana here and he attacks with the Zacian, it's still kind of game over. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm really trying to think. I mean, I assume, Vini's playing to his outs right now. I understand he's a great player. It's hard for me to see sort of any light at the end of the tunnel personally.
Exactly. It's very, very tough. I mean, potentially it comes down to like, I don't know. It comes down to so many factors. Vini needs to make a decision quickly as well, because he's running out of time. We see another tag call just to get that timer out of his face. We'll just thin that card out of the way. It just comes down to like, do you Mallow and Lana here into the doll just to heal that little bit of extra damage?
Right.
Maybe that's enough. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. Just these two Reshizards staring you down, 4 energy each. Both seem way too powerful to deal with.
Right, they're like, try it, man. Figure it out. It's a tough spot to be around. And I see in the comment section, too, someone was mentioning that Tempozor does play Cramorant as well. So that's also always an out at this point. I don't think it's doing tech. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, is it? Yeah, I think it's doing almost exactly enough to KO this Leaf Metal at this point. But either way, man, let's just, I'm curious. I'm just curious to see how this goes. I'm not trying to be too doubtful. I would like to see this go into a game 3, but the odds are definitely stacked against Vini at this moment here.
Yeah, it's tough. You feel like if the Zacian had a tool on it, had a hat of some description, that maybe this game would be just that little bit more winnable.
Right. No, I mean, exactly. And it's one of those things where you really want to Mallowana to get this damage off this thing. And I guess you can Mallowana into the Lilies, and then I guess maybe top deck like a boss or something, and then go from there. But it's tough.
It's very, very tough. So we see a Mallow and Lana removing the Guzma Hala and the Metal Saucer, which is obviously 2 cards that are not really required anymore. That's probably going to send us into the Lillie's Pokédoll, which ironically is going to be almost too hard for our opponent to knock out, thanks to that big big HP.
Maybe
We're
the
gonna put
maybe
the
maybe the
metal
cape's
down.
the difference, man. Let's see.
Maybe it is.
I mean, Vinny
Uh,
still he's got plenty of chances, right? It's just everything has to
Oh
go
yeah,
right
for
for him.
sure.
Everything's got to go right for him here, and it's definitely a grim sort of
It's not a situation that I would want to be in.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. It's not.
No.
It's not like over. The game is definitely not over because Vinny is still playing. He knows that he's
Yeah.
got the chance to win.
for sure.
But it is very, very tough. I mean, what we're going to see here, we deal 150 damage to the Reshizard. They're going to outrage or switch and then use Flare Strike and hit into this Luca Metal, which is obviously a big deal. Then Vinny can use Guzma and Hala if he wants to try and find one of those Metal Goggles, which is obviously very strong, or he can use Marnie to try and draw into it as best he can, which is obviously going to be good. There's a boss. That's
That's very
card
good
to pick up right now.
That's very
but
good
not
for.
particularly useful.
It's very good for if like if we free retreat into that. Oh yeah, but the problem is you need the item.
Yeah, there's so many pieces that need to be put together here, and that timer just incessantly dinging in his ear must be incredibly frustrating. It knows exactly time is running out. The plays can still be made. We Marnie here. We need to find ourselves a hat, potentially a switch. We're looking for those Metal Goggles which are in the deck. It's a 50-50 shot. Marnie draws 5 out of 10. Doesn't get it.
Oof. Okay.
That is a shame, and you can see he's gone straight to the chat. GG's there, doesn't find the goggles. And he's feeling like this is probably the end of the road. There's not a lot to do. Attach the energy. We can switch into the Zacian and take some prizes, but that is not going to be enough. That means Yarifu is going to be the winner, and he's going to be walking home on the beach today. He's going to be taking a stroll on the beach.
It's absolutely incredible, man. It all came down to this. Yari, he's like, hey, man, good game. I really appreciate everything that you've done. But listen, I got a beach with my name on it.
Yeah.
And,
I've got a party down there. I got to go and take scoop up net.
And Mewtwo's gonna put the boss on the top deck or Choreo for game. Absolutely insane.
There's the boss. Beautiful stuff.
It's Vinny played extremely well. I mean, we had a chance to watch multiple of his games throughout this tournament. He was an absolutely phenomenal player. He's just gonna scoop. He might be a little bit upset, but that's understandable.
Hey, listen, I'd be upset if I played for 2 days and got within one game of a beach as well. But an incredible performance from all competitors. Vinny did exceptionally well there, and it's so disappointing to get so far. But congratulations to Yarifu 93, who is our Chill Series 22 winner. And he's heading home with a tropical beach. That's a hell of a prize.
That is one of the best prizes you could possibly think of, man. It's absolutely insane. Let's go over to the caster stream real quick, and we'll get this stuff wrapped up.
Let's do it.
All right. Let me turn the camera on real quick. There it is. Wow, guys.
There we go. Jake Gearhart's in the chat telling us how dumb we are because we are completely wrong. They didn't need the goggles. The GX attack would have done enough, so the Zacian actually wouldn't have been knocked out by the Reshizard. But the boss was there anyway. So in the end, we ended up being right. So
well, there you go.
Whatever.
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, but
math is hard sometimes. It's fine.
Maths is hard.
That's it, guys. That's gonna be Chill Series 22. Before we head off, before we do our final giveaway, we have to do the ceremonial trade, which is very important. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to log into PTCGO. We're going to just straight up trade that tropical beach right over to our man.
Let's do it. Let us do it. That sounds like a very exciting time.
All right.
This is something that we will never get to do again, guys, by the way. If you're in chat, this is the first and last time you will see your side of the trade giving away a tropical beach.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on right now. PTCGO is not loading. It's a little bit awkward. Okay, here we go. I think I'm gonna have to send him a friend request. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we'll add. So it's Yarifu 93. Fu 93. Just double checking.
That's all right. That is okay. And we have to call it Tempozard from now on because that's what Yarifu calls it.
That's right. It's exactly
Won the beach. We have to call it Tempozard forever now.
Hopefully he has a card tagged for trade. No matter what the card is, I'm sure he'll be fine with it. But okay.
Can you imagine? It's like, nah, I don't want to trade it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, right. He's like, no. Let me. He's like, trade a basic energy. Hold on. There it is. Okay, here we go. The ceremonial trade, everybody. This is what it's all about. You thought I was lying. You thought the beach was just a joke the whole time.
It's just a joke. Nah, it is here. I got to make sure that I have my my stream open as well, so I can watch it happen, even though it's a minute after it's actually happened.
All right,
I have to see it.
He does have the basic energy. We're gonna grab the grass. Okay.
Go for it. That grass sounds like a pretty good energy type to have.
All right, here we go. Ready? We're gonna type in beach. Remove the filters. We're gonna press enter on that.
Oh my god! You don't have to do this, man. You don't have to do it.
I do have to do this. That's the whole thing.
Just run away with it.
Just the stream just ends abruptly.
Yeah, Chill series is just over forever.
Boom. Here it is.
Traded away. Unbelievable.
Done.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Yarifu, man. Hope you enjoy that tropical beach. Don't try to trade it for packs. It's worth more than 100 packs, way more. So that trade won't even go through. You're gonna have to trade for gold quick balls.
100 quick balls.
Yeah. So, unreal, man. Absolutely